to then cool. A gasp, a sigh, a squeal. There is no doubt. I am taking you So the first thing is my mouth and sound. I think it's close enough. So I think we're going to go with it. All right, we're going to... What are we going to do here? We're going to make sure the guitar is in tune. All right, and we'll welcome everyone in to the weekly Wednesday Warble, to our episode, good, all fine it seems, excellent. Our episode about the month of March. And there's a lot of events in March, lots of like International Day of this, International Day of that. There's some really big holidays, and a couple birthdays. So I think we've got a good little program lined up. And we're going to start with International Women's Day, and I think which of course gets extended to International Women's Month. And so I'm going to sing a song that this is a traditional song. We're going to start off with a couple traditional songs actually, but actually this is sort of a tour of Western Europe perhaps. We're going to start with a walking song, Waulking. So this is a song from Scotland, and it's a song that the women would sing like a sea shanty, a work song. This is a song that the women would sing while they work the fabric of the Scottish tartans, and they'd have to soften up these fabrics, and they'd be working them and pushing them and pounding them and passing, like sitting in a big circle and passing these bits of... I'm going to make my camera lose focus from moving my arms too much. Hello, welcome in, Round Sparrow. I'm going to lose focus if I move my arms too much, I bet, with the camera. But anyway, it was a working song that the women would do. So the women would have made these songs up as they did them. And there's a lot of walking songs. So songs written and sung by women as they did their work. So I thought this would be an appropriate one to do for International Women's Day. The dancing water, green, purple, barred with gold, brown wing my boat flies o'er her brown winged I lap the water, white the keel, the curling wavelet tosses high, spraying round. sharp surprise, with eyes of fear and wild alarm, as my white keel fast thither flies. Amen, dog, hitty-o, row, amen, dog, hitty-o, leaving the loose to leeward, blithely a-sailing seaward, white the keel, the curling wavelet tosses high, spring round. I'll now buy our seats as we sail o'er the minch to sky. Blue cliffs of blues we leave, the white cliffs are drawing nigh. The black crags of sky, the beetling, frowning down through a veil of mist. On our frail craft are towering high. Amen, dog, heaving shoreward, amen, dog, giddy-o, tower high, the seas behind us, tower high, the cliffs afore us, by the shore we lie at anchor. Amen, dog, giddy-o. There we go. In Hebrid Seas, that one is called. And I am in the American Library of Congress singing it and talking about it because I kind of dug that up for an archive challenge that I did a few years ago. And there's video of me on YouTube on the Library of Congress website talking about it. And yeah, I felt another thing that kind of made it appropriate for the Women's Day entry is I'd found Ewan McColl singing it in the archive, but I found a book that was printed either the late 1800s or the beginning of the 1900s that was of songs of the women of the Hebrides, compiled by another woman who'd gone off and written all their songs down, so I thought that was appropriate. So we're going to stay in the same, we're going to hop over from Scotland to Ireland, because of course, what happens in March? St. Patrick's Day. So we have to sing an Irish song for St. Patrick's Day, and I'm going to sing one of my favorite melodies with one of my favorite sets. This one has multiple sets of lyrics, and I like this foolish romantic set of lyrics. She raised her eyes of blue and smiled and said, the boy I wed, I'm to meet him in the foggy dew. Oh, hide your blooms, ye roses red, and droopy lilies rare, for ye must pale from the very shade beside a rose so fair. Said I, dear maid, will you be my bride? She raised her eyes of blue and smiled and said, the boy I wed, I'm to meet him in the foggy dew. As down the hill I went one morn, singing I did go, and met this maid with the coal black hair, and she answered sweet and low, yes, I will be your own dear bride, and I know that you'll be true. She sighed in my arms while all her charms were hidden in the foggy dew. As down the hill I went one morn, a lovely maid I spied. Her hair was bright as the dew that wets sweet Anna's bed inside. And where go ye, sweet maid, said I. She raised her eyes of blue and smiled and said, the boy I now we're going to go south. We're going to go south a little bit to France, because also in March is the Journée Internationale de la Francophonie, International Day of the Francophone, in which we celebrate the French language. And so I'm going to sing a song by one of my absolute favorite French composers, singer-songwriter Maxime Le Forestier, and c'est une maison bleue, adossée à la colline, on y vient à pied, on ne frappe pas, ceux qui vivent là ont jeté la clé. On se retrouve ensemble, après des années de route, et on vient ce soir autour du repas, tout le monde est là à 5 heures du soir. Quand San Francisco s'embrume, quand San Francisco s'allume, San Francisco, êtes-vous les Aréliques? Sylvia, attendez-moi. Un jour la prière, en la roulant dans l'herbe, on écoutera Tom à la guitare, fait la laquena jusqu'à la nuit noire, où notre arrivera pour nous dire des nouvelles d'un qui reviendra dans un an ou deux, puisqu'il est heureux, on s'endormira. Quand San Francisco se lève, quand San Francisco se lève, San Francisco, êtes-vous les Aréliques? Sylvia, attendez-moi. Accroché à ma mémoire, on y vient à pied, on ne frappe pas, ceux qui vivent là ont jeté la clé. Peuplé de cheval, de greliers et de musique, peuplé de lumière, peuplé de fous, et peuplé de fous, elle sera la dernière à rester debout. Si San Francisco se fondre, si San Francisco se fondre, San Francisco, où êtes-vous, les Aréliques? Sylvia, attendez-moi. And not, well, the next theme, so I looked it up, and now there is a national, so I'm guessing when it says national, it means the United States. I'm not sure about that, but that's kind of my interpretation from the lists that I find on the internet. But it's National COVID Day, COVID-19 Day, of course. Everything shut down in March of 2020, so it makes sense that there'd be a day to observe that in the month of March. And I happened to be living in a following from our International Day of the Francophone, I was living in a Francophone city, a Francophone province, when COVID-19 came about and shut everything down. And so this song is in English, but its title is Tout va bien aller. And so of course all the kids were putting pictures of rainbows in the windows of their houses that said Tout va bien aller, which is like everything is going to be okay. So I wrote this song at that time. Shelves so underworld stepping up to help out. How long before it's all back the way it was? To Bobby and LA. To Bobby and LA. That's what the rainbows say in the windows of this town that's all locked down. Times like these bring out the best. Times like these ignite the very worst. The world turns and life goes on. To Bobby and LA. To Bobby and LA. That's what the rainbows say in the windows of this town that's all locked down. To Bobby and LA. Everything's gonna be okay. To Bobby and LA. I wrote that in the lineup for a grocery store, as I recall correctly. All right, let's. We're gonna switch gears now. Another. Because of it, what is it? 3/14. It would be the 14th of March. Third month, 14 day, of course, is Pi. So we have International Math Day because of it. We have Pi Day, and as a result, we have International Math Day. So we will sing naturally the song that I wrote by opening up a math textbook and being inspired by the first thing I see. Thank you. Yeah, that's one of the ones that I forget that I've written. You know, it was a very topical time song, and then I forget that I've written it. And when I was going through the month of March, it was like, oh, right, that song. All right, but math, International Math Day, Pi Day and Math Day. We find Paula in the yard, sitting underneath a tree, reading elementary number theory and some of its applications. La 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 la. We find Vince inside the house, pouring through his diary, contemplating all the aviary specimens that he has spotted. La 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 la. Suppose Paula can discern from the spaces in between all the thousand tiny loving gestures that he sends in her direction. La 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 la. She has X but not A, and she'll never know B, as the way things will stay, but proof exists of their congruency. La 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 la. Let us now assume that Vince is well aware of the underlying meaning to her imperceptible glances. La 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 la. He knows N but not P, and he's unsure of Q, as the way things will be, but proof exists, it's irrefutable. La 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 la. La 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 la. La 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 la. She has X but not A, and she'll never know B, as the way things will stay, but proof exists of their congruency. He knows N but not B, and he's unsure of Q, as the way things will be, but proof exists, it's irrefutable. La 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 la. La 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 la. La 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 la. There we go. Yeah, I just like walked to the grocery store and all the windows had that light in them, and then you had to stand in line to wait for your turn to go in and shop. And so I just stood there in my notebook and wrote pretty much the whole song. I think there were a couple songs that I wrote like in the lineups to things, but that's the first one, and that's the one that got like the other. I wrote other songs about different things while I was waiting in the lineup. All right, so moving on, in strange days, well, not that strange, along with Math Day and Pi Day, it's also, we find World Poetry Day in the month of March. We also get Smart and Sexy Day. And in my brain I was going, I put shoe shopping after number theory for a specific reason. What was it? And of course it's to get the smart in Smart and Sexy Day. And I've never heard of Smart and Sexy Day, but it's all it's to raise awareness that a person can be smart and sexy at the same time. It doesn't have to be a separate thing. So keeping that in mind, and World Poetry Day, here's a song that I wrote as a poem about something that I think is particularly sexy. And it's adjacent to the math song, which gets our smart in. Oh, hello. Yes, I see you. I felt you calling my name. That shade of pink, so unusual and yet so me. That line so exquisite, a silhouette so simple and yet unlike any other on the market. A décolleté so subtle yet filled with wicked promise. That heel so elegant, feel so elegant, so flawlessly supports my weight and molds so strikingly my legs, standing in that firm embrace. I channel some force from beyond, so ethereal. I take one step, then two, then twirl. A gasp, a sigh, a squeal, there is no doubt. I am taking you home. I don't remember if Smart and Sexy Day had a international/national tag on it. It might just be in some circles. Might just be in some circles. All right. So along with here we're gonna segue into birthdays, but it's also World Contact Day, which I think has something to do with making contact with beings from outer space. And also March is Karen Carpenter's birthday, so we shall do this song. This is by a Canadian band called Klaatu, but I think it's far more famous because the Carpenters covered this. So in honor of Karen Carpenter's birthday and in honor of World Contact Day. Thank you. In your mind you have capacities, you know, to telepath messages to the great unknown. Please close your eyes and concentrate with every thought you think upon this recitation we're about to sing. Calling occupants of interplanetary craft. Calling occupants of interplanetary most extraordinary craft. Calling occupants of interplanetary craft. Calling occupants of interplanetary craft. Calling occupants of interplanetary most extraordinary craft. You've been observing our Earth, and we'd like to make a contact with you. We are your friends. extraordinary craft. Please come in peace, we beseech you. Earth may never survive. Please, interstellar policeman, won't you give us a sign that we've reached you. With your mind you have the ability to form and transmit thought energy far beyond the norm. You close your eyes, you concentrate, together that's the way to send the message we declare World Contact Day. Calling occupants of interplanetary craft. Calling occupants of interplanetary craft. Calling occupants of interplanetary most extraordinary craft. There we go. Calling occupants of interplanetary craft. All right. So also in the birthdays, it was Mr. Rogers' birthday was in the month of March. And someone recently sent me this song and said it was their favorite. I recently found out from the same person. I never saw Mr. Rogers when I was a kid. It wasn't on, like, I don't know if it was on cable. I know my older brothers watched it, I'm pretty sure. But when I was a kid, it wasn't in my sphere. And I just recently found out that not only was he an actor and performer that way, he was also a composer. And he wrote a ton of music for his show, and he sang on his show, and he wrote little mini operas, which is really cool. And I went and listened to a couple of them, and they're really neat. And so anyway, here's a song that Mr. Rogers wrote for Mr. Rogers. Well, he didn't write it. Yeah, that's what I remember. My memory is that being told that my oldest brother really liked Mr. Rogers. So I never saw it. Like, I don't think it was on, like, I don't know if it was just wasn't on any channels, or if it never caught my interest or what, but I don't remember ever watching it. But who doesn't like Mr. Rogers? So here's one of his songs. When your heart has butterflies inside it, then your heart is full of love. When your heart feels just like overflowing, then your heart is full of love. Love is fragile as your tears. Love is stronger than your fears. When your heart can sing another's gladness, then your heart is full of love. When your heart can cry another's sadness, then your heart is full of love. Love is fragile as your tears. Love is stronger than your fears. When your heart beats for a special someone, then your heart is full of love. When your heart has a room for everybody, then your heart is full of love. There, a little bit of Mr. Rogers for you. All right. It's true. It's true. You really only remember your oldest son. Such is the way. Such is the way. All right, we're going to move into the last couple of songs, and I felt that they were related as well. And we've got two more of mine. And of course, what happens technically in the month of March? Wasn't it? It is a beautiful song. So one of my regular viewers sent it to me and was like, "This is one of my favorite Mr. Rogers songs." And so I was like, "Oh, I was like, I'm going to learn that." And then when I was looking for March events, I saw it was his birthday. So I was like, perfect. But now, so ostensibly, technically, spring happens in March. And it is, we are having, currently in Newfoundland, this week we had a cold snap this week. It has been absolutely beyond freezing. It's like maybe I should get a block heater for my car levels of cold. And it's been snowing all day. So there are zero signs of spring on the horizon. But technically the season will change to spring this year. Hi, John. Welcome in, John. You're here you get the last two songs today, John. You get the last two songs. And I was just talking about our fabulous weather. But maybe in a couple more months, we'll actually get spring here. But maybe a number of you are in parts of the world that will actually have a spring. Yeah, you come back. Some of you may actually be in parts of the world that have a spring. So this song is for you. Crocus peeks through the snow cover. Daffodil isn't far behind. Blue jays blue and gray and robins red. Return, return, return. Oh, another spring. Wings unfurl from the pupae, antenna investigate, satin sacs full of tiny legs, explode, explode, explode. Oh, another spring, oh, another chance to dig my roots deeper. Oh, another spring, oh, another chance to spread my leaves further. Coming alive after winter. Waking from hibernation, stretch the knots out of your limbs, breathe in the air and bathe in the sun. Restore, restore, restore. Oh, another spring, oh, another chance to dig my roots deeper. Oh, another spring, oh, another chance to spread my leaves further. To live my life fuller. Oh, come alive after winter. There, spring. And that brings us to our final song of the day, and I felt it was related to spring. Because, well, spring, that song is kind of from the point of view of a tree. And it turns out that it's International Day of Forests happens in March. And I just so happen to have written a song called The Majesty of Trees, which seems like very appropriate for the International Day of Forests. And so this is a song about, I had learned about the fungal networks through which trees talk to each other. So I guess they share information internationally. Pardon me while we get down into drop D tuning. Exactly. There we go. Sentinel, witness to our time, bending with the centuries, standing through millennia. Silent, selfish, isolated. A solitary figure struggling for soil and substance. Man projects his dog-eat-dog worldview on forests wild. Nothing could be further from the truth. Underneath the grassy surface, down below the moss and stone, a system formed of symbiosis echoes through the earth. Silent only to those of us who cannot hear. Giving, taking, swaying, listening, and laid a lone branch on a cliff. Nourish one, nourish all. Shouting, murmuring, giggling and babbling, the forest lives. Tendrils reaching through the soil, reaching out for fellow roots, encircling and sharing gossip, news, and nutrients. One tree, every tree, for all trees. Sullen onlooker, jealous conqueror, threatened by the evidence that our way is not the way. How can we be part of this world and so deeply misunderstand? How do we repeatedly get it all so wrong? Ageless sentinel, witness to our time, bending with the centuries, standing through millennia. Ageless sentinel, our stream for today. That is our month of March, in which we covered International Women's Day, St. Patrick's Day, Journée Internationale de la Francophonie, National COVID-19 Day, International Math Day / Pi Day, World Poetry Day, along with Smart and Sexy Day, World Contact Day, along with Karen Carpenter's birthday and Mr. Rogers' birthday, the season of spring, and International Day of Forests. So there we go, a whole bunch of days and events in the month of March, and I had written songs for about half of them. So there we go. Thank you once again for joining me for the weekly Wednesday Warble. As usual, I had fun with this theme. That's a new theme this year, is each month finding the things of the month. Next week the theme is going to be girls, which I don't know if it's girls because of International Women's Day, International Women's Month, but I've been putting together songs that sing about girls. So I'm looking forward to that one. So have a great week, everybody, and we shall see you next week. Take care. This is me trying to remember how I end a YouTube stream. Bye-bye.